Yeah, that'd probably be a little bit too much.
This is a little bit too much. Oh, there we are. The racers are underway. So, talk about this game just a little bit. This is the newest installment of the 3D Mario platformer type game, and this one is slightly different in that, Nintendo always wants to shake it up and introduce some new and interesting ways of playing the game. So in Sunshine you had Flood, in Galaxy you had space, gravity, and physics. In this game, you have a cap. Although Mario doesn't have one on his head right now, he's going to befriend this ghost-looking character, Cappy, and he'll be your best friend throughout the entire run. Cappy can be used. You can throw Cappy at enemies as an attack. You can use it to break boxes and interact with the world in various ways. You can also throw Cappy out and use him as a platform. Jump on, bounce off of the cap and get some extra height or distance. All kinds of different things you can do with Cappy, like pulling the switch to activate a bridge. So the movement options in this game are certainly numerous. Kind of multiplicative with all the things you can do with your cap here. Flip the switch, open the door. Runners could attack those little tiny yellow Goombas if they wanted to, but not worth the time. Another interesting thing you can do, though, is possess a frog. You can possess creatures in this game. That is a 100% Nintendo-approved game mechanic, just, taking over other people's bodies. So, it's the casual things.
Yep, and if I'm not mistaken, there's like a lot of captures in this game.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it's like 50 plus things you can capture and play as. Sorry, you can play Mario obviously if you want to, but capture 50 other things as well. So lots of different options available for sure. And it's always interesting, when just playing through the game casually, even like, oh, I didn't know I could capture that. Okay, I guess I can now.
Yep, and now both players are going into the topper fight. This is the first of two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there are two topper fights that we see in the any percent route. So that was the first one, and we blinked, so we missed it. Sorry, but that is one of the ones. The topper, like all bosses, can be fast cycled. You can skip phases or get an animation cancel or something like that. Do the fight in a faster than quote unquote normal way. And so both of these runners are able to get the yump and cancel that one cycle phase of the cycle and just get it over with super, super fast.
Both players in one of my favorite kingdoms, Cascade. It's a pretty interesting skip in this game, or in this world here, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're the, also MoveFish, and here's deyskil possessing this Chain Chomp. Chain Chomp is one of the two new things that we were able to capture here in the Cascade Kingdom, and MoveFish is going to collect a moon. So two things to talk about, captures and moons. So in the Cascade Kingdom, you're going to collect moons, and you need 5 moons to advance to the next kingdom. This is the requirement in every kingdom of the game. You need X number of moons to progress to the next one. It varies from kingdom to kingdom, but here in Cascade it's 5. So after that first one, you need 4 more. And yes, it is moons, not stars in this game. So it's totally different, guys. It's a different thing altogether, 100% different.
Yep, it's not your average Mario game. Ooh, there's a bonk there from Fish.
Mm-hmm. And so here's that capture we were just talking about, is the dinosaur. Saw this in the trailer, and it's here. You can actually play as a dinosaur, and we're going to use him to break these rocks. Activate a trampoline. Oh, MoveFish doesn't quite get it. Has to get the left foot onto the trampoline. There it is. You can dive up here to this top platform and activate the cutscene zone for the boss fight. This is not the intended way of doing this, but as speedrunners, we scoff at intended paths.
Yeah, especially if they're much slower, and both players going into the Madame Brood fight.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly simple. You just capture the Chain Chomp when you can and throw at her face, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. The deyskil there tried to get the fast cycle, the attack cancel on the Chain Chomp, but was unable to get it. Just missed the stomp on top. So MoveFish does get the quick kill. deyskil gonna have to wait between these cycles here. A little unfortunate. Oh, there's the jump. Get the hat on top and activate the last hit. There it is. Yeah, so pretty solid fight from both runners. They're, you know, a handful of seconds apart, but this is not the type of, you know, this is not a blown open lead. Oh, you know, it's a GG for MoveFish. He's won already. I would not say that. The run is only begun.
And we got the first set of multi-bananas.
The bananas. Yeah, so with that first moon collected and the grand moon, which is worth 3, that's a total of 4 moons. I said we needed 5, so there's one more moon that we have to go all the way over to this cliffside to get, and it's such a nuisance, but, you know, could be worse. Could be further off the critical path, so
Very true.
All things considered, not the worst. Not the worst thing. So there's MoveFish getting the moon. deyskil's going to head over to the moon. And MoveFish putting the moons into the Odyssey, the ship that will be transporting us between kingdoms in the game. deyskil almost fell off that cliffside. Had to circle back and get the moon. It was a little spicy.
Yeah, it does get a little bit worrisome if you accidentally miss your jump. Ugh, that'd be the worst. Lots of time wasted at that point.
Yeah, and there are so many ways of losing time in this game. It's kind of mind-boggling. You know, you got your classic, the standard Mario edition bonk. You ram your face into a wall. You lose 2 seconds of animation time to just, I can't do anything because Mario is like, oh, I hit my head. And you can't do anything. You can't do anything. But then there's also, oh, you might need to recorrect your path. You would, adjust after the bonk, so there's more time loss. If you take damage, it's time loss. If, so collecting moons heals you. And there's a little healing animation that takes time. It freeze frames to heal you. That's time loss. Numerous ways of losing time in this game. So it can feel very frustrating and punishing at times to be like, oh no, I hit a little too far to the left. I lose time, and all different kinds of unfortunate things like that can happen.
Definitely. And now they're both moving on to Sand Kingdom, which has many different routes, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, bonk.
Yeah, there's the infamous bonk showing up again. But yeah, so these days I think there are only MoveFish. Oh no, that's gotta hurt. Both him and Mario. But generally these days there are 3 universally agreed upon routes that runners are across the board running. There are some runners that choose their own different anomalies and different crazy things that they'll do, but the 3 generally, 3 general routes you'll see. Because here, it's no longer the case that we need 5 moons. We need 16 moons to go to the next kingdom. And so, from the moons available, all right, I need to choose 16. All right, what do I do? It's like, which moons are the fastest to collect, basically. And so, depending on what types of strats you want to go for, what difficulty you're going for, the most difficult route saves about 7 seconds on the intermediate route, which I believe is 11 seconds faster than the novice route, right? So there are these kind of standardized differences kind of baked into the Sand Kingdom just because of all the moons that you need to get and how many there are available to you. So lots of different things you might see from runners here. But deyskil did opt to get the bird in the town, if I'm not mistaken. And so already a route difference showing up. Because the bird, there are 2 places that runners generally choose to get the bird, is either in the town or in the oasis. So I'm going to assume that MoveFish is aiming to get the bird in the oasis. You might see a Sphinx from MoveFish.
Possibly. There are many different choices that can be taken. And it's all up to the runner.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and there's MoveFish getting the early cycle in the bullet bill. He's able to manipulate the homing trajectory of the bullet bill to keep it alive so it didn't blow itself up. Keep that first cycle bullet bill alive. deyskil having some trouble with the ice pillar here.
It does take a lot of practice.
Yeah. So I don't think deyskil's going to be able to get this bullet bill either. I have to wait for a 3rd cycle. Yeah. It's really unfortunate. How does the Odyssey fly? Well, power moons are like electrical sources of power in this game. MoveFish is going for the Sphinx clip. Having a little bit of trouble there. Oh, deyskil bonks on the pillar. Gonna have to find an alternate moon to get there, or get that moon later on. But MoveFish does eventually get the Sphinx clip. At that point, it is no longer a time save to do the Sphinx clip route versus the intermediate route 1 step down. But he already committed to that route at the beginning of Sand, so has to follow through on it. So deyskil also heading to the Sphinx, but doesn't want to do the clip, just says, no, I'm just going to talk to the Sphinx. So given the amount of tries it took MoveFish to get the Sphinx clip, it is actually faster. deyskil here just walking in and talking to the Sphinx.
Little bonk on the stairs from a fish, but managed to recover pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Gonna try to get the next cycle bullet bill here as well, and is able to get it.
If we're coming up on one of the moons that can waste the right.
It's always a little spicy. If you fail that jump out of the bullet bill wall kick up on top of the Jaxi ruins, you fall into the purple goop, which is an immediate and painful death. So, not the thing you want to see in a speedrun like this.
Oh yeah.
One thing I should note as well is that it is relevant and important that both runners went to the Sphinx room to grab all those coins, because coins do matter in this game and in this any percent route, because in every single kingdom you have the opportunity to go to the shop and purchase a moon in addition to all the other moons that you have available to you to collect, and each purchase costs 100 coins. So in the current any percent route we choose 2 moon purchases. So you might say that this route costs 200 total coins. So keeping track of coins is very important. MoveFish getting some problems with the bird here in the Oasis. Oh, he has to get the bird, or no, it's out of reach now. He has to go get the notes on the tree. Yeah, so it is good that they were both able to avoid death on the near the Jaxi ruins, both for the reason of, if you die, you get ported back to your previous checkpoint, which for them would be the Sphinx room, or if they, they could have gotten a checkpoint as well, but you get warped back nonetheless, further back in the route, and you also lose 10 coins every time you die, because there are no lives in the game; it's just coins. So every time you die, you lose 10 coins, and they do want those coins again for moon purchases later on. But MoveFish finishing up the Sand Kingdom as deyskil collects the final moon, also going to head to the Odyssey. So again, not an insignificant lead for MoveFish coming out of Sand Kingdom.
Yeah, and it seems like deyskil might have enough coins to be able to last, as long as there isn't too many accidents and falls to his doom.
Yeah. There is one spot in one kingdom where summoners choose to take an intentional death to death warp back to the Odyssey. It is optional. You can avoid it, but some runners just do bake that into the run, so they're baking in, oh, my route doesn't cost 200 coins, it costs 210 coins, so they kind of have to compensate for that a little bit. But that's within mild variance. Like, you can pick up those 10 coins along the way of the other kingdoms if you so choose. So
now we're seeing Lake Kingdom.
And this is one of the shortest kingdoms in the route. You only need, I believe, 8 moons to progress. Not a whole lot. But one of the limitations of this kingdom for runners is that, so one thing I've also been neglecting is that in this any percent route, we're basically completely avoiding the story missions, and we're saying, I don't need to do story, just bare minimum number of moons required to move on, and that's all I need, I'm good to go. But doing the story missions kind of opens up the kingdoms and unlocks all the possible moons for you to collect. So before that, you only have so many moons that you can possibly get, and you need however many you need to advance. So, routing options can be a little limited. You only have so many to choose from. So this is one such kingdom in which there's not a lot to do. You just have to, use what's given to you, and that's about it. deyskil yeah. Go ahead.
Shadowman asks a pretty interesting question of why not use the American version of the Japanese one? The Japanese one saves time. If I'm not mistaken, just a...
Yeah, it's like 15 seconds ish. Of the tested languages, Japanese is the fastest. It's 15 seconds over English. We've tested English, Japanese, both Chinese simplified and traditional, and Korean, I believe. So of those languages, Japanese is the fastest, but there are many more that are untested. But we're pretty sure that Japanese is probably the fastest.
And Fish already finishing up the Rango fight. That was pretty quick.
Oh, deyskil has to try the cheap jump again. Needs be a little bit further back to. Oh no!
Oh.
Mishap after mishap. He actually ground pounded instead of diving there, and ground pounded on top of the cheap, killing it. So he does need to go get another cheap now. Attempt the jump. It's really unfortunate.
Yep. That's a bit of a time loss.
And again, a little too far forward, just jumping underneath the platform. Oh no, it's a bit of a bonk. Yeah, so at this point, it's I'm going for backup strats. You can triple jump off of this little floating platform here, do a hat dive to get onto that platform with the boss fight. So MoveFish is going to be starting up the Wooded Kingdom as deyskil looks to fast cycle this Rango boss fight, which again, blink and you'll miss it.
Goes too quick for the eye to see.
Pretty much. I mean, this boss and one other boss fight, it's you sit on their heads and then they die and they're sad. Not much to talk about beyond that. Unless you actually miss, the actual hitbox, or you're a frame too early, frame too late, in which case we do see some interesting things, but hopefully we won't see additional phases out of these runners today. So here's MoveFish going to be putting those first 100 coins to use with this purchase in the Wooded Kingdom. And we'll need 34 more coins before the next purchase in the Snow Kingdom, which is far enough away that, not too much of a concern at the moment, but just something to keep in the back of the mind. MoveFish going to be looking to head up to this first nut to crack. I believe it's 6 moons in the Wooded Kingdom that are acquired through breaking nuts. So, has kind of a notorious reputation within the community for reasons.
Yep. Nut Kingdom.
Yeah. And here's MoveFish possessing an uproot. Uproot being the main capture target of the Wooded Kingdom. You can telescope the legs up like that and get up to the cliffside for the optimal bonk to break the nut.
Intentional block here.
This is actually interesting. There's a route deviation. You can go down to the flooded pipeway and then go into this maze, or you can do the maze and then the pipeway, which looks like Fish is going to be doing. I believe that this route is 2-ish seconds slower with optimal movement, but for some runners it's really hard to get optimal movement, and so just choose for the easier thing of I'll just teleport back to the checkpoint I just got. Yeah, so here's the infamous flooded pipeway. It's very, very hard to get through. Ooh, yeah, hard to get through in an optimal manner. You want to avoid the damage from the fuzzies and meet the water level cycles. So everything's on a strict timer from when you enter the pipeway. Both the fuzzies and the water, levels are on cycles. So trying to get the cycle that you want can be really demanding. And MoveFish doesn't quite get what he wants there, but makes it through nonetheless. See if deyskil does go. He's going to get the uproot for the moon in the nut on the cliff, and see if he does go for the same route that MoveFish chose, or if he's going to go for the pipe first. Yeah, it does go for the pipe first, so this is slightly faster with optimal movement, but again, optimal movement can be really demanding and challenging. Here's the story moon from MoveFish. deyskil has to... Oh, no, he eats some damage in the second half of the pipe, so will not be getting through here optimally, but... it's... Ooh. It takes more time to heal yourself in this animation after you grab a moon if you take 2 damage as opposed to 1. I believe it's 2.2 seconds if you take 1 damage, and like 2.7 seconds if you take 2 damage. So it's one of those things runners are always thinking about, like, oh man, I didn't really mean to do that, but you know, you have to sit there and deal with the time loss nonetheless.
Yeah, that jump looks very terrifying, but Fish manages to get it no problem.
Yeah, oftentimes a lot of these things in Odyssey will look horrifying as an audience member, but you know, for some of these runners who've done it just dozens and dozens of times, it's no big deal. I've done that before. What's the problem, guys? Why are you sweating?
Having a little bit of trouble getting up there, but manages to recover.
Yeah, Wooded Kingdom is kind of notorious for being one of the more movement-intensive kingdoms in the run, and so trying to do everything completely optimally, you know, at each individual section, there's just so many different ways the game can screw you over, and things can go poorly. But again, this boss fight, MoveFish is gonna just sit on this guy's head and win.
Yeah, but Spirit's my personal favorite brutal out of all 4 of them. But as like with Topper and Rango, it goes by super quick.
Yeah, I think the only brutal fight in this game, aside from the mecha, which is actually poses a threat for runners, is the refight with Topper. So, you know, we saw Topper at minute 2. We're gonna see him again in approximately minute 60-ish, and he'll be much more of a nuisance then. Yeah, again, the lead only grows for MoveFish here. As a couple of mishaps from deyskil kept him from having the movement he was looking for. But gonna be looking to head into one more moon before the boss fight and close out the Wooded Kingdom, which MoveFish is doing right now. So here, the game tries to lead you into, you know, believing that you're headed to the Metro Kingdom, which is the thing that Nintendo's advertising so much in the, you know, for the game is, oh, look at all the big city skyscrapers you can go to and do all the good cool things, and you're heading there, and then you make a pit stop in the clouds for some reason. Hello? There's a ship up there. Oh no, it's a fight with Bowser!
Yep, gotta fight the old enemy again. Been there since the very beginning.
There's MoveFish getting the very fast hat capture. Get some early damage onto Bowser there. He's very nice. See if he goes for more fast strats. Looks like he's gonna get in position for the backflip. And he does get the earliest hat grab possible there.
That's very skilled.
It's especially hard to pull off that same trick on this last 3rd cycle here, so if he goes for it and gets it... Oh, alright. So he does not get the earliest possible hat grab. Oh, and Bowser jumps away. That's the worst thing that could happen there. Yeah, so we lost a couple of frames from not getting the instantaneous hat grab, but it, you know, landing a little bit further away, but that's alright, can walk over to it. But having Bowser jump away like that does really hurt. That's really the way that you lose time in that fight is failing something and Bowser jumping away. So as MoveFish finishes the Cloud Kingdom boss fight, deyskil is going to be heading into it.
Oh boy, Lost Kingdom. This is a place where lots of time can be lost.
The meme tree itself. MoveFish.
Oh yeah.
Didn't quite get the triple jump, has to reset and try again. So the reason that MoveFish is actually heading over here, this weird pathway off to the left, is that if you go down the intended pathway to the right, you actually activate a cutscene trigger where the bird, Klepto, will steal your hat away, and you have to go platform up to the top of the island and get in a fight with the bird and take it back, and it, you know, loses a whole bunch of time. So circumnavigating the island around this way, you completely dodge that cutscene zone and are able to avoid it entirely. Just not deal with that that sequence. So deyskil not looking to do the earliest possible hat grab, but still canceling the cycle. And oh, MoveFish eating a death there. Now that's really hurtful because it means he goes all the way back to the Odyssey, and he has to do the entire circumnavigating the cutscene zone again from the start. Hit bonks as well. Can be a little bit of a frustrating thing to have to deal with there. He was able to get back up and get that moon that he was going for in the first place. deyskil also seeing some Bowser jumping. Not quite once, but, you know, do what you can. So MoveFish there did trigger the fight with Klepto, which, since, you know, after the bird is supposed to capture your hat, you get in a fight with it to get it back. Him activating the fight without the bird stealing his hat means that the bird thinks that he already is in a fight, you know, for the hat. So that disables the cutscene trigger zone entirely, and MoveFish can just go about his business. Now traversing the entire Lost Kingdom without having to worry about that cutscene zone.
Little bonk there.
See if the meme tree will be kind to deyskil here. Looking for the triple jump. Ooh, has to reset and get it again. So let's see if MoveFish can avoid death here. He cannot. His hat did not come back to him in time, so just has to lose those 10 coins and move on with his life. Or death. Or whatever. Again, you can avoid the death under the bridge there. If you don't, you just death warp back to the Odyssey. If you do avoid the death and you save 2 seconds. It's not a lot, but runners care. Runners want the frames. Yeah, so, you know, with that death from MoveFish and Lost, gives deyskil some time to gain some ground here and catch up a little bit. So hopefully be looking to execute well the remainder of Lost Kingdom here, as MoveFish actually heads into the Metro Kingdom now.
And if I'm not mistaken, Metro Nights can be a little terrifying for some runners.
That it can be. There's a whole bunch of movement, and bonks like that aren't gonna help your morale much. But this is kind of the story sequence that the game wants you to do for the Metro Kingdom before actually having access. So it wants you to go around to the left, fight some tanks, go through a gauntlet of enemies. But we can just use this awning to, well, if we don't miss our hat jump there, we can use the awning to bounce off our cap and get all the way up on top of this building and just kind of go the complete opposite direction the game wants you to go, and, you know, speed through everything. But the game does require us to get 20 moons to move on from the Metro Kingdom, and there are just not that many available to you in nighttime in the story sequence. You do have to complete the story sequence and unlock daytime Metro, where the rest of the kingdom is open to you. So there's deyskil going to be closing out the Lost Kingdom, as MoveFish enters the town hall for the long climb up. And this is another one of those sections where everything's on a strict cycle from when you enter. All these elevators are on a cycle, and ooh, that bonk means he's not going to get the cycle he was looking for. So wait for the next one. Yeah, so that awning jump off the building to the girder on the right, this town hall climb, and then the boss fight within the story sequence all just have just horrifying, torturous ways that they can make the run, you know, all that more depressing for runners if something goes a little wrong. So really good to see MoveFish getting pretty much the best possible climb up to the top here. Let's see if he can do the optimal boss fight.
If I'm not mistaken, the optimal cycle.
Yeah. So here's the first cycle from MoveFish. Now the boss will go invulnerable, untargetable, and run across the arena a couple times, and then you can kill the boss on the second cycle if you are able to destroy each of its body segments in time. If you cannot, it will again go invulnerable and targetable, you know, run across the stage some more, and then you'll have to wait till the third cycle to kill it. So a second cycle kill is what runners always are trying to be able to do, but you know, sometimes there's not a lot of RNG in this run, but one of the things that is RNG is the place that Mecha Wiggler appears on the side of this building and the way in which it moves. And so you can never completely know and predict what it's going to do, and so based on what spread you get here will completely dictate whether or not you can or cannot two-cycle the boss. It's going to be tough for MoveFish to get all these. Ooh, he does not get it. He has that one segment left, so it is going to be a 3-cycle for MoveFish.
That's a little bit of a time loss. Gives deyskil a bit to...
Yeah, little ground to gain there. There will be the third cycle kill as deyskil exits the Town Hall climb. We're looking to start the Mecha Wiggler fight as well. So, you know, a 2-cycle is pretty much the gold standard of what, you know. If you get a 2-cycle, it's like, oh, this is a really good run. I feel like I'm doing so well. And if you get a 3-cycle, it's the worst run ever. Reset, please. Okay, thanks. Bye. There's not really a lot of in-between sentiment. There's not like, you know, oh, okay, well, I got a 3-cycle, but the rest of my run's been okay so far. It's no. You get a 3-cycle, your run is immediately garbage. Throw it away. But yeah, so now MoveFish is in the daytime metro, going to be collecting the remainder, you know, now 14 moons needed to progress onto the next kingdom. See if deyskil can't get the 2-cycle here. Ooh, gets the stall on the tank. And is not able to get the 2-cycle kill. Going to have to be looking to the 3rd cycle. Yeah, that is one of the mechanics of the tank capture, is that if you fire too many shots in quick succession, the tank will actually stall out and you'll be unable to shoot more shots or move at all, and you're just kind of sitting there, you know, like a dummy with your finger up your nose for a couple seconds.
That was a pretty good bench, if I say so myself.
Good bench. Always want a good bench. Yep, so there's the 3rd cycle from deyskil. Yep, so about a 2-minute gap between the runners right now. Not a whole lot left that can go wrong here for MoveFish in Metro, but plenty of opportunities will present themselves in the next few kingdoms for sure. So again, we get 5 moons in the nighttime Metro segment. deyskil's me looking to collect 15 now. Ooh, some slick climbing there from MoveFish. It is actually faster to do what he did and do hat throws and dives up the pole rather than your standard climbing. So, you know, there's the risk though of diving the wrong direction, just missing the pole and falling down good ways. So, able to get the quick climb pretty solidly there, I would say. But yeah, deyskil just has to do what he can now to, you know, try to make up the lost time and not have too many more errors, especially going into the next few kingdoms as, boy, let me tell you, Snow and Luncheon are just brutal. Brutal if you try to play optimally, play perfectly, don't make any mistakes, so hopefully for him, if he can not make mistakes and just pray to the RNG gods to throw MoveFish into the lava or something. So it is again a pretty sizable lead at the moment.
Hi. Oh.
Now, one thing I'm gonna mention as well is that we do have MoveFish's sound coming through the stream. Just got the drummer who said "yow," but if we have some Mario Odyssey savvy chatters here, they know it's coming up next. And you guys, don't go too early. Don't let it anticipate it, right? Just gotta wait on it. Gotta just bathe in the moment for a bit. Wait for it. Wait for it. OTEP?
OTEP, alright.
Yay!
That's the good stuff.
There it is.
That was a chat.
There we go.
Everybody loves OTEP. Oh, deyskil had a bonk over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so deyskil going to be coming up on OTEP of his own as he looks to close out the last segment of the Metro Kingdom here. But MoveFish is going to have the opportunity of choosing between Snow and Seaside. I think he did have enough coins to head straight into Snow. It's not that much faster. It's just the speed of menuing up or down one. But he does menu down to go to Seaside. It's kind of interesting, given that he did do the Sphinx. I guess he did not get the Jaxi chest with more coins, but yeah, just chooses to go to Seaside regardless of coinage. Yeah, he does have 93 coins. He'd only have to collect 7 if he did want to go to Snow, but I guess he just, you know what, I could, or I just could go to Seaside and not worry about it. So, chooses not to worry about it. So here we might see some route divergence, given that deyskil is sitting on almost 200 coins. Probably gonna head to Snow just because coins are a non-issue completely. So the coins do matter when choosing a world because in the Snow Kingdom, in the current any % route, we do choose to purchase a moon, and a moon costs 100 coins. So if you do not have 100 coins, you might be more averse to choosing Snow over Seaside. There's a tunnel in Seaside where you get 40-ish coins. So if you're short of the 100, you can just go to Seaside first, get the coins, and then go shop in the Snow Kingdom for your moon. It's not a huge time difference to choose one over the other. It's just if you want to go to Seaside, you have to menu down to select it, which is a minor time loss. And there's also the risk of you're mashing A too fast. Oh no, I actually went to Snow and I didn't want to. Oh no, so I have seen it happen before with runners. Mishaps do happen, but yeah, I mean it's a pretty standard route divergence at this point for runners to go one or the other, and then you do have to choose Seaside or Snow, and then do the one that you didn't do right after. So there's no big difference there.
Yep, and MoveFish is about to get a bunch of coins.
Yeah, this will definitely secure that purchase in Snow. No worries there.
Also, to 100% confirm, is actually doing that little spin with a cheap faster or no?
That's a hot question, isn't it? If you are traveling in a straight line and you are not changing direction, no, it is not faster to do that little spin move to, it doesn't gain you speed. If you are changing direction though, or elevating or descending, then yes, it will give you a little speed, give you that get you at max velocity when you do that little spin. So, given how much we do change direction here, and we are ascending and descending, most runners just will do that just in case, if, avoiding losing the speed that they already have. But if you're traveling in a straight line, no, the spinning does not do anything. Yep, so MoveFish gonna be closing out Seaside and heading into snow. And deyskil just grabbed the first moon of snow himself, so again, it might look like they're relatively close to each other now that they're in the same kingdom, but just keep in mind that MoveFish has completed Seaside and deyskil has not. Does need to head there after this kingdom and do that one. So here's deyskil putting those coins to good use, getting the heart skip first try. Yeah, this is another one of those kingdoms where, I don't think that was a tumble that MoveFish wanted to take, but not the worst thing. Routing options here are limited, like in the Lake Kingdom. You need 10 moons to advance past snow, and only 13 total are available to you. So, we choose to get Captain Toad. He's the only moon that you can get in this any % route out here in the blizzard before heading into the town of Shiveria. So we say, "Hello, Captain Toad. We can't see you through the snow, but thank you, friend." Oh, the optimal bonk into Shiveria. I like it. Yes, you can get another moon out in the blizzard if you're in 2-player mode, which is why I said this any % route. If you're doing a single-player any % route, you cannot get that other moon. You can only get Captain Toad out in the blizzard. So deyskil getting into a little trouble with the Typhoo there. Almost got blown up into the purple goo. Just hit this last spiny off.
Yeah, I noticed with a few runners that one spiny likes to be stubborn and stay.
It is a rare occurrence. I've actually had it happen to me before where not one but 2 spinies got stuck in the middle of that little platform and had to hit them both off with my hat. And I was like, how does this happen? Why does this happen? So, common annoyance of runners having to, you can't get all the spinies with the Typhoo. You guys have to go up and hit him off yourself. Gotta do everything myself, right? That's what Mario says.
Yep.
Ooh. deyskil hits a little bit of damage, but saves the Goomba from being crushed by the icicle, and so is able to save it for the switch. Very nice recovery. MoveFish. Ooh, almost didn't. It looked like he was gonna bonk on that arch there, but he makes it on top and is able to get the ground pound for the moon. Never argue with the pedant. Yes, I am correct. I'm technically correct here. The best kind of correct. So here's deyskil heading into, but not before bonk, heading into the last room to collect one more moon before closing out Snow Kingdom. And MoveFish is gonna have that Goomba room separating him and deyskil here in the Snow Kingdom. Yes, you do want to try to keep all the Goombas alive in this room, because that you do need 4 Goombas for that switch up top. Sometimes you'll see that icicle drop on the last Goomba that a runner needs, and they have to just reset the room. It always feels, really like one of those "come on, man" moments that you'll have in a run. There's deyskil closing out Snow Kingdom. I'm gonna be heading into Seaside, and MoveFish has to deal with ice physics here. A little bit of a nuisance.
MoveFish doing a lot of moves. That kind of gives me a little bit of a heart attack over here.
Yeah, the ice physics here are when you're Goombas, you're not subject to the ice physics. As a Goomba, you walk like it's normal ground, but once Mario ditches him and has to slide all over the place to try to get to this moon, it can be a little spooky.
Makes no sense why Goombas can get away with it.
They've got like pads in their feet or something. I don't know, but whatever it is, there must be some scientific reason that Mario doesn't have it. We take animal furs here in the real world. Why can't you take Goomba feet in Mario's world, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a savage.
Ooh.
Oh, deyskil. This is one of the harder cliff sides to get up. You need to try to get maximum height out of every part of that movement to not bonk on that cliff side there, but he does get it. So MoveFish closing out Snow. Now going to be heading into luncheon, which deyskil is still, I'd say, about 2 or 3 minutes away from. Probably 3 minutes, I think, would be my rough estimate.
And Luncheon's a pretty interesting kingdom. It's very colorful, to say the least.
Yeah. You always got to have your food-themed level in a Mario game, but this one's interesting. It's not like, candy and sweets. It's low poly, interestingly colored vegetables. So, definitely props to Nintendo on this one for creativity, but I want to know where they got these ideas. Well, deyskil having some problems with this rocket flower note moon here. And MoveFish going to be looking to get the cheeseless jump onto this cliff side. This is another one of those jumps where you absolutely need maximum height or you will bonk, but is able to get it.
Just gotta get the moon on some salt.
deyskil does get the line up for those notes there on the surface of the water. Just gets that moon. Yeah, that's the other thing. That pinkish stuff there is it functions as lava in this game. If you hit it, Mario will grab his butt like he's on fire and sound very hurt. And like in Mario 64, it's lava, but it doesn't look like lava. And we're in a food kingdom, so everyone just calls it Pepto-Bismol. So you want to avoid falling into the Pepto if you can.
Yep, this is the second spirit fight.
Yeah. The other boss fights that we have with the Brutals, where we refight them, they might have additional phases or and they're more difficult to fight. But no, this is just straight up identical to the fight in the Wooded Kingdom. So if you can sit on his head there, you can sit on his head here, and it's the same.
Went so fast.
Yeah, I blinked. Man, I missed it. Last 3 moons for deyskil before heading into luncheon himself.
And there's an interesting path that can be taken later on in luncheon. You can go to 2 different kinds of rooms. One that's called forks, and I'm not sure what the other term is for the lava room.
Yeah, but, so this was some self-education I had to do here. In previous Mario games, they're called Podoboos, but everyone knows them as, and in this game, they're actually officially called lava bubbles. If you look in the capture list in the game, it calls it a lava bubble, not a Podoboo in this game. So lava bubble is the name that I'm sticking with. You capture a lava bubble, and you go through this magma room, and you get about a couple of moons. So in both the forks room and in the lava bubble room, you can get 2 moons each. So most runners will choose one or the other, and for the most part, it's runner preference. But it's always interesting to see the different kinds of things you can do, movement-wise, with respect to getting from each room to the critical path and back. And there's deyskil. I'm going to be starting up the Luncheon Kingdom now. Yeah, so this is the any % route. Getting to the end credits is the main goal. There are currently no known major glitches or exploits to no wrong warping into the credits or anything like that. We're behaving. We're playing through all the kingdoms and getting all the required moons that we need to progress from one to the next. So Ooh, MoveFish just avoids the Pepto, has to reset that jump there. And deyskil does avoid the bonk, gets up with Cheeseless the first time.
Looks like we get to see Fork Room from MoveFish.
Ooh, that's an interesting deviation. So we chose to avoid motion controls there for those last 2 hat throws, but I've actually never seen that method done before. That seems pretty darn fast still.
deyskil bonked over there and fell into the Pepto.
Sitting on 1 HP. I know I joke about Spirit, you sit on his head, but 1 HP, you do want to be a little careful and not die. So able to get the Spirit kill. Whew. Mild anxiety, mild anxiety.
And now we gotta go with the Pan Bros.
Yeah, these guys are always just a pain, just a pain. They always throw pans in basically random arcs at random angles, and so you kind of have to just spray and pray it. Really sucks. Oh, the bonk from deyskil. He's able to get up to the moon though. The healing animation. Yes, since MoveFish did forks, only needs to now collect 1 more moon on the back of this cliffside, and then can head up to meat percent to finish off luncheon. Oh, but not before bonking.
What are those little tomato-looking creatures?
They're tomatoes. They are just straight up tomatoes. So the kind of gimmick, the way they work is that, as a lava bubble, you can only exist in Pepto. If you jump onto solid ground, you dissolve and Mario jumps out. But if you kill a tomato, it creates this puddle of molten tomato that allows you to exist as a lava bubble within that little puddle. So, it's another platform on solid ground that you can jump into as a lava bubble.
That is pretty interesting.
It took me a while to figure out when I played through this game casually. I could not for the life of me figure out what these enemies were supposed to be for, or why, what is this crap? But they're actually platforms. Yep, so MoveFish was able to get meat percent, gonna be heading out of luncheon, and deyskil's only about halfway through. See if he does choose. Nope, chooses to skip forks. So we are going to be seeing 1-in-1, the forks room from MoveFish and the lava bubble room from deyskil. First, going to get up onto this jutting crag here. Oh. Cappy actually rode that little angle and moved off to the side a little bit. That was very unfortunate.
Cappy being sassy.
Cappy being a troll. That's what I tell you what.
Now we're about to see one of my favorite parts.
This is kind of one of the polarizing parts of the run, because it's very cool for viewers to look at and see, this spooky looking area and this boss fight. But as a runner, this is kind of a little bit, this is a low moment, a lull in the run, as it were, as this boss is more or less an auto scroller, so you can't really do a lot here. Just sit in your hands and wait. But it is a dragon, so there's that.
So cool. There are many different names for this kingdom. Skyrim, Dark Souls Kingdom.
Yeah. The official name is the Ruined Kingdom, and this is the fight with the Lord of Lightning, but it's it's a Dark Souls dragon. That's what it is.
There's not really much of a difference to get up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, taking the damage there does allow you to grab the swords on the very first frame they're available, but that is the only speed up to be had. So, you know, literally saving frames, and that is the only save you can do here. So, meh. Still pretty much an auto-scroller. But here's that lava bowl room from deyskil. Climbing up to get that moon on top. Going to be using motion controls to platform through here. This can be a little spooky if you're not familiar with it, but is going to damage boost here to get on top of this platform and grab the moon. Very nicely done. Yep, so now deyskil has to get the mountain and meat percent, then can also move on to the dragon fight, as MoveFish is closing it out. Yeah, so this is the part of the run that reaches critical mass, so to speak. MoveFish is heading into the second to last kingdom, Bowser's Kingdom, which is basically a gauntlet of boss fights and platforming challenges. And you know, if you thought Luncheon could go wrong, oh boy, do we have news for you.
There's a particular boss fight toward the end that could ruin your day.
Not very many, again, you know, not a lot of RNG in this run, not very many run killers, but that one boss fight is, that is definitely a run killer. I joked a little bit about, oh, I got a 3-second wiggler, garbage run. You know, it's kind of a little bit of a meme. You know, it feels bad for sure to get a 3-second mecha wiggler, but you know, you're probably losing like 20 seconds ish. You can easily lose upwards of a minute on the last boss fight if it just does not go your way. So, like a bona fide run killer. I'm not memeing here. Yeah,
now, Bowser's Kingdom pretty shocked me with its design.
Yeah, it's a lot different from basically everything I was expecting. It's kind of styled after, you know, the feudal type of Japan sort of aesthetic, which is very interesting. I know there's a proper name for that era, but I'm uneducated and I don't know it. I'm but a pleb.
And deyskil going into the Ruined Kingdom.
Yep, so there's the first story moon from MoveFish. Unlike most other kingdoms, here in Bowser's Kingdom, we actually are forced to gather these story moons. If we do not grab the story moons, then you can get up on top of that wall without this door opening here, but the electrical wire to advance to the next section of the kingdom will not be available to you. It actually, you can't progress. You have to get the story moons in order to move on. But even that is not enough. You're going to see runners grabbing 2 additional moons in Bowser's Kingdom, grabbing the story moons and also 2 more moons, because it turns out that those story moons are actually not enough. Doing the story is not enough moons to allow you to progress. It doesn't show you the outline here of how many moons they need, but you do need all the story moons and 2 additional non-story moons to move on from the Bowser's Kingdom after completing the story. So it's a little bit of a headache for runners trying to route these additional 2 moons in. And there have been some discussions on what's optimal, but MoveFish is going to go for the hole in the wall. Nice and easy. Old boy strats, as I call them. Yeah, Yep, so there's the kill onto the dragon from deyskil. Going to be heading into Bowser's Kingdom, but MoveFish is 2 story moons ahead of him here. I mean, again, something catastrophic has happened, could happen here, but it's not looking too hot for deyskil just yet. So this is the section of Bowser's Kingdom where we have to refight Topper. I alluded to this earlier. This is the refight with Topper. He is back. He's bigger, he's better, he's got more hats, and it is harder to pin him down. And ooh, MoveFish about to take fatal damage here. Oh, he does end up dying to Topper. I don't think he grabbed the checkpoint either, so he goes all the way back. Yeah. So I have to take this electrical wire and try the fight with Topper again. Yeah, so, you know, again, the addition of more hats just makes him harder to fast cycle to get this jump here. MoveFish does get it that time. But then, in this second phase, he has even more hats. And MoveFish is able to find it, pin it down, and say, "Not today, buddy. You're not going anywhere. Get out of here."
Yep, MoveFish just about to go into the first fight with Harriet. You were able to go into the desert to fight her, but nope.
Yeah, it's one of those story moons that we were like, yeah, we don't need to do that, so we skipped it. So this is actually the first time we see Harriet in the any percent route. But she's a girl. She's a brutal bunny. She throws bombs at you, and yeah, that's about it.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. She throws bombs at you, you throw them back at her, and then jump on her head. That's the fight. The you know, again, refights with boss like we saw with Topper. He has more hats here. She throws 2 bombs at you this time instead of the 1. So, you know, huge difference in the. It's the same fight.
Despite her simplicity, a lot of people love Harriet.
Yeah. So there's the third story moon for MoveFish as deyskil finishes up the first. So again, still 2 story moons separating the runners right now. But deyskil does have an opportunity to catch up since MoveFish did end up dying on that Topper fight. So, you know, again, some ground to gain there.
Hit by a spiny.
Yeah.
A little bit there.
And again, it's the double punishment of you can't move while you're hit by the spiny, and then also when you get the moon and heal up, you can't move for 2 seconds. So, you know, neener. It's kind of the attitude of the gamer at that point. MoveFish now looking to make the final climb up to the final boss fight in the kingdom, which is just the worst. Just the worst.
One wrong move and, nope, that's gonna be no good.
Yep, so the Pokio right now, the bird that MoveFish is using, is meant to be used in the boss fight, but I don't think we're going to see that from MoveFish. We're going to see birdless strats here on the boss fight, which are significantly more difficult, but, you know, shave off 20-ish seconds, I believe, if you're able to do it optimally.
Yep, the Mecha Brutal. I don't remember the actual name for this thing, but
it's the Mecha Brutal. That's the name. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. You can quote me on that. That's what everyone calls it anyway. Ooh, okay. It's a little spooky sometimes when the mecha turns around and you try to jump back on top. Those ears can really, you know, be the gatekeeper, block your path getting back on top, but MoveFish is able to make it on top both the first and the second times as deyskil starts the Topper fight. And the boss is currently invincible during this rainbow leg phase. You have to wait for it to stop and shake, and then you can do damage to it again. Let's see if deyskil can get the second. Oh, he did. I looked away for a second, and he already finished the fight. All right, cool.
Yep, and MoveFish just finished Mecha Brutal with hardly any issues.
Yeah, that was a. I believe that was an optimal Mecha Brutal fight, actually. So, you know, we hyped it up like, oh no, everything could go wrong. But, you know, MoveFish is like, come on, man. Just really? That was the easiest fight of my life. No worries.
Yeah, we blinked a moment ago and Topper was already gone.
I was looking at MoveFish and deyskil killed Topper. Then I looked at deyskil and MoveFish killed the mecha. Like, I just... Ah, man. Both the runners playing pretty solidly here. So deyskil backing Harriet into a corner to get her to be far enough away so that when the bombs actually do come, can get the fast throw back at her. Gets the last jump on her, and that will be the end of Harriet. Goodbye. Boom.
Yep, MoveFish going on to the last parts of the game. The moon.
Yeah, not very many opportunities for MoveFish to make, you know, a significant enough blunder for deyskil to catch up at this point, I don't think. So I do believe we already know our winner, but for the sake of the run, I will say, well, actually, hold on a minute. deyskil's PB right now is a 120. If SR, yeah, no, that's looking at his splits. His PB is a 120.48. He could be on PB pace here by a good bit, actually. So even if he doesn't get the W,
Oh no.
I'll be excited if we can see a deyskil PB here, honestly.
Agreed. Got backed up into the corner by some spinies there. They did not want him to leave.
You are now a prisoner. You will not be allowed to go anywhere. But grabs a checkpoint just for that health, just in case. You know, better safe than sorry. Here's MoveFish gonna be abusing moon physics. We do actually get moon gravity in this game, much like 1,000 Year Door, but we can abuse it to much greater effect here. So that cave off to the left is where the game wants you to go and deal with, you know, a story sequence that takes 5 minutes ish, I'll say. Or you can go behind here and hop up on the Sphinx to abuse moon gravity. Now, the game only wants to allow you to wall jump between parallel walls, but because of moon gravity, we can actually do it off of 90-degree, you know, perpendicular walls, and MoveFish gets it the very first try. It's a very particular spot you have to be on that wall to be able to execute that trick, so very impressive, very well done there from MoveFish. And deyskil gets blocked by the ears on the Mecha Brutal. That's gonna hurt a little bit. Has to wait for another bird, and now wait for the next cycle to be available to climb up the Mecha Brutal. It's gotta feel really punishing.
MoveFish heading on to the second Bowser fight.
This one's pretty much the same as the fight in the Cloud Kingdom. Not a lot that can go wrong here, assuming that you've, you know... Oh, deyskil! Not able to get the bird jump you wanted on top of the mecha. Have to give it another go. Try to get on top. Oh, and just rolls underneath of it, so now he's gonna have to wait for another bird to get on top. Wait out this invincibility cycle.
Hope that doesn't bring deyskil down too terribly.
I mean, I believe again with a 120 PB, the opportunity is not lost to PB here. Man, I'd love to see that in a race setting.
What's a MoveFish PB again?
MoveFish is sitting on a PB of 110.40, so not gonna see a PB from MoveFish today, but you know, gonna get very close to that time. Oh, he hits the hat right back into Bowser, so has to wait for the next cycle.
Funny how Bowser freaks out about his hat being, like, not returned to him.
Oh no, my hat! This game has a weird obsession with hats. I don't know what it is, but... oh!
Oh.
Ooh. Really spices there from MoveFish. And deyskil getting the kill onto the Mecha Brutal. Yeah, he can definitely PB here by several minutes.
Had one of the most interesting captures.
You can play as Bowser. Surprise!
Wouldn't be the first time, though.
I mean, yeah, but it's Bowser. I mean, come on.
Now we gotta escape from the moon.
Yeah, it's not entirely clear where we are exactly, but it's basically blowing up, so we have an escape sequence on our hands. Thank you, Super Metroid.
I'm guessing we're like inside of the moon, like in its core, maybe. I don't know.
I have several physics questions about this, but I'll postpone them for now. Will MoveFish go for 2D skip? Yes, he does. Will he get the last jump? No!
Ooh.
He doesn't make it. He falls all the way down. Has to restart the Bowser section again.
That definitely gives Day a little bit of a chance. I don't think that we'll try to go for it again though, but we'll see.
You never know. I mean, I know some runners that they fail something like that, you know, and it's a huge setback both time-wise and mentally. It's like, no. Now that I know that, you know, I'm no longer, even within a minute of my PB, screw it, going, you know, whole hog, I'm gonna go, you know, dig into it. I'm gonna get this trick. We see what MoveFish does here. I'm hoping he goes for it again and nails it. Yep, goes for it again. And he gets it. There it is.
Right.
Digging down into what he knows.
Yeah, I believe that's like a 2 to 3 seconds of a time save.
Yeah, if you get that the first try without falling to your death, it's roughly 2 seconds of time save. Falling to your death does lose about a minute, so lost a minute, made up 2 seconds. You know, that's worth. First try, Kappa.
Now we get to hear one of the best songs in the game.
Oh yeah, this is the Sour Please section of the run.
Let's get some sour pleases in the chat.
Oh heck yeah. deyskil coming up on the moon skip. Oh, he's trying to hit that pillar again. Come on. Yeah, there it is. Knocks it down.
There we go.
deyskil, a little bit of struggles with the moon skip here. The MoveFish is going to finish with a final timer on his split of 1:13.22 and an official SRL time of 1:13.24. So just within 3 minutes of PB. GG to MoveFish.
Congrats to MoveFish. deyskil going up to the cathedral now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we still could see a several minute PB here from deyskil, given that previous PB was a 120. Could be looking at a massive PB, actually, depending on how the Bowser fight and escape sequence go. I say massive. Massive to me means, 2 or more minutes. A 2 or more minute PB it feels like a landmark achievement and can really be, what pushes you to practice some more and gets those next level strats going. Especially PBing in a race setting, that's nuts.
Peach has had enough here.
the end game cutscene's gotta be it's one to enjoy for sure. Oh, deyskil gets the hat. There it is.
That was being stubborn, like, no, I don't want to come to you, not yet.
A little finicky there, but manages to get it in the end. Mario abandoning Bowser on the moon. See ya, nerd.
A lot of hats.
Yeah, one of the only differences between this fight and the Cloud Kingdom fight is more hats. That's it.
Hats for everybody.
Did you need more hats? I think you needed more hats.
Yeah, Top surely didn't have enough hats.
The current world record for Super Mario Odyssey is 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 14 seconds by Nadias, or Shaden, or Pydoix, whatever you want to call him. That guy is the world record holder at the moment.
deyskil going into the moon escape.
Solid pace from deyskil here.
See if they'll do moon skip. Yeah. I meant a 2D skip.
Can be again, a very risky moves to go for, but it always feels very personally satisfying. Like, yeah, I smashed that trick. Just top off your run with a nice little ribbon. So here is the moment of truth. deyskil decides not to go for 2D skip. Says, I don't want any of that garbage. Get it out of here. Yeah, looking like could be a 118 or a 119 for deyskil here. Probably a low 119, I'd guess. A little unfortunate missing the 118, but hey, a PB is a PB.
Definitely makes you feel proud that you managed to beat your time.
Has to avoid this one little hole in the level there. Falling to your death there does mean you start the whole Bowser section over again, and that's just not what you want. You actually might get the 118 here. I might have been wrong. Just to get to the middle very quickly. Yeah, and it's going from a PB of 120.48, gonna be smashing that record. With a final time, according to his splits, of 118.26, and it is a PB. The official SRL time is 118.33 GG to deyskil. And now we are joined by MoveFish. Hello, how are you doing?
Doing good.
How you feeling about that run?
Awful.
Oh, really?
Bad.
What in particular gave you consternation?
Like, all of my early game was like really bad, and at 30 behind after New Donk, and then the rest was pretty good except for Moon, where I
the 2D shortcut troll. You still there, Fish? Hello? Are you still with us, Fish?
I heard him say hello.
Something must be wrong on my end.
disconnect.
Ah, there you are. Hello. Oh. A little technical difficulties, I guess. Hello, deyskil.
Hello.
Hey,
GG.
deyskil.
Congrats on the PB.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure.
And GG to MoveFish.
GG.
Yeah. Any thoughts in general on how your run went, deyskil? Did you have any golds in there?
I had quite a few. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12.
Holy! What did you eat this morning?
Well, I hadn't done like a proper run for a long time, but I had been practicing, so kind of like probably could still get a better PB right now, but yeah.
Gotcha.
I think I messed up quite a bit, but it was still better than my original PB.
Well, hey, I mean it's definitely impressive to beat your PB in a race setting. You know, I had wondered if you had been practicing because your PB was kind of old, but hey, I mean you managed to smash it into the ground just now. So I mean, yeah, I mean definitely looking to see some more good things from you later on. Let me see if I can't pull up the bracket. Was this the final match in your group?
Yes, the fourth person actually dropped out, so it was me, MoveFish, and Zeers.
I see. It still looks like some matches are missing here, but
Might just not be submitted yet.
yeah, I might not just be updated on the leaderboard yet. But yeah, I mean, definitely again a GG. Congrats on the PB. I think that's super awesome. And Fish, you were telling us about some of your woes when you cut out before. You said you weren't too happy with your early game.
Yeah. In that sand, it was pretty good up until that last part where I missed the bird. Chased it. Missed it, so I had to do notes, and it was just really bad.
Oh, I think I had to do notes. I missed the pillar one. Yeah. Bullet bill where you go to the pillar.
Yeah, definitely saw some struggles early on.
And Lake 2, missed the fish for some reason. Don't usually mess that up.
Died on Lost, and missed the 2 cycle on the Wiggler.
Yeah, both of you actually missed the 2 cycle. I was kind of amused.
Yeah.
In a macabre kind of way. But yeah, I mean, early game troubles aside, and 2D skip aside, we don't talk about that. Both runners managed to really, kind of pull it together from Metro on and make it a run that looked like an 80% run. So hey, I mean, it was definitely a joy to watch, especially in the later on stages. Do you have any comments to make, Shoko?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. Just to make sure I'm not missing something terribly obvious, but it was just solid gameplay and a joy to watch. Oh,
my Mecha Brutal was really good. That was the best I've ever done.
Yes, it was. That was actually optimal with current strats, I think. So that was definitely really impressive.
Definitely.
So some links in the chat. You can follow the commentators if you like what you heard here and want to listen to more or watch us play Mario Odyssey or whatever it is that we were doing at the time. And if you want to follow the runners, you can follow them as well. With MoveFish with his too long name, honestly. Even funny as it is, it's too long.
I've been trying to change it, but Twitch won't let me. So
oh, they won't let you. Oh, rip. And again, all the group stages matches have to be done for all groups this week. Sounds like you guys are already done, so not going to be seeing you all until the elimination stages in a week or so. Is it already decided who's going through, or do you have to resort to tiebreakers?
I think it's me and Zeus.
Yeah.
You and Zeus? Okay. Well, hey, I mean, still looking forward to seeing some more from you, deyskil, for sure. And I know you'll be plugging away at it, given how much you've practiced. So, really looking forward to that. And, you have any thoughts on the bracket stage, Fish?
Looking forward to it.
Anyone in particular you wanna race against?
Tones Ballones.
Tones Ballones. Ooh, where is Tones here? Can we call him out? I don't think he's here, but I'll let him know you said that. I know he's been grinding Splatoon for GDQ, so you might have the edge.
Hopefully I do better than this race.
Yeah, avoiding the deaths can be, you know, it just helps your morale, you know? Helps you feel good about what you're doing. But yeah, GG's and best of luck in the bracket stages. Looking forward to seeing more from y'all later. We do have more Mario Odyssey. Again, you know, group stages have to finish up. More Mario Odyssey to come. There's a race currently ongoing at Speed Gaming 2 between Cookie Apocalypse and Johannian. We're going to see another race at 11 p.m. between Minato Purge, aka Justin, and Mr. Ike. And then a bunch of runs scheduled for tomorrow as well already. More to be scheduled, I imagine. So, you know, follow the Speed Gaming channels for more Mario Odyssey, because, you know, we all need more Mario Odyssey in our lives. And if you want to head on over to, it might be on Speed Gaming 3 actually. There's an RTA marathon in Japan. It's basically the Japanese GDQ. There's going to be more Link to the Past randomizers, all kinds of stuff to look forward to. So, you know, if you're looking for more speedrun content, don't touch that browser. Or do if you want to check out what other options are available to you. But again, all the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that I'm done pontificating and closing out, I think I'm actually done. I don't have anything else now. So, GG to the runners, and everyone have a good night.
Commentary.
Yeah. Take it easy.
You're welcome.